Hi guys, Andy here, and I'm here to bring you all things mundane and makeup related. If that's your vibe, I'd love it if you would subscribe to be part of my little slice of the internet. And in today's video, I'm bringing you my December update for the Panner's Bingo Project Pan. So if you want to hear everything that we've been working on, let's go ahead and just get on into it. If you don't know anything about this project, it was created by Cici, and I will leave her listed down below as well as everything about this project. It started January 1st of this year. That's not when I started it. I started it real late. And it just goes until you get a bingo. You can choose one or more bingo cards, and I chose card number 5. The cards are listed down below. The prompts are listed. Everything you could possibly need is in the description box. This is a Pantastic Ladies collab. Cici was originally choosing numbers for this, but she stopped, I think, in September. I don't know why. That is what it is. I have, if you're new here, the way that I'm doing my bingo is B11, I27, the free space, which is a mini or deluxe, G55, and O74, because those are the numbers that have been called for me. So, we will start with, get everything out of the way, I27, which was something spooky, whether that be the name, the color, etc. So I had brought in my Bella Beaute Bar Basic Witch palette, which is what is on my eyes today. And originally I had a no pan left behind goal, but then I think last update, 2 updates ago, I said that I was going to also put a usage goal on one of the shades. Last update, I said it was going to be a 25 usage goal, and I wanted you guys to help me pick on how I picked a shade, what shade, and we agreed on it's going to be 25 uses on the shade Incantation, as well as no pan left behinding the palette. As of last update, I still had to use these 4 shades right here, and then again, 25 uses on this beautiful orange duochrome shifty shade. So, I would, as you can assume, since this is on my face, have used those 4 purple shades. So those are in my eye look today, so I have completed my no pan left behind goal. The whole palette has now been used. Today is the 10th of December, so that goal has been met. Now I need to roll this prompt out. I need to get 25 uses on this shade. I have not used it yet at all since setting that goal. So this guy's going back in, 25 uses on that shade, but I am happy to have, before the end of the year, finished the no pan left behind portion of this goal. So that makes me very happy. Everything else is on the back side. Then we have, for G55, that's used for an alternate purpose, I brought in this Uoma by Sharon C. Flawless IRL blush in the shade Bougie AF. And I don't use this as a blush, I use this as a highlighter. So that was my used for alternate purpose. I do want to get 25 uses on all of these products besides the very last one. I used this once in November, so 24 uses to go. It's gonna be a while. I just haven't been doing orange looks, but it will be nice to know that this project, everything's basically orange besides the one item. So I have like a full look out of everything. Next we have for B11, that was favorite. Could have been from any category. So I pulled in my NYX Sweet Cheeks. This is probably my favorite cream blush just in general, but this is my favorite shade of this formula. I have all 6 of them. And this is the shade Almost Famous. It is this beautiful bright orange. I have also a 25 use goal, and I also only used it once in November. So 24 uses left on this guy. I promise we have a more exciting to do. I'm just leaving it for the last thing. O74 is for your favorite show, and one of my favorite shows growing up was Law & Order SVU. My mom always had it on. So I picked from Sydney Grace. This is the shade Pistol, because, you know, cops carry a gun on them. I figured This fit the prompt. I have 25 use goal on this. I haven't used it once. I have so many, which I say this every time, single shadows and projects right now that like this just hasn't been used. I probably could have used it in today's look, but I was trying to finish my No Pan Left Behind goal on my Clionadh palette, so I used the purples from that palette instead. And last but not least, this is the one we have a fantastic use on, is the Free Space, the Mini or Deluxe. So I told you guys that after I had finished that Tarte Fake Awake, that I was going to finish the rest of my samples from my little sample stash. We're not completely done, but oh my god, have we made such amazing progress. So I think the one I worked on next was the Glossier blush. So let me pull that out. All I had left to do was the shade Haze, which was gorgeous, because I wrote all these down. It was perfect shade, not too light, not too dark. It blended great, and I love the formula. This was my favorite shade out of the four. I would wholesale buy the shade Haze. I absolutely loved it. I actually featured that shade in my best winter blushes, which I will leave that, if you have not seen that video that I did, in the description box, because this is just the most wonderful, like, windswept cheek cranberry blush. It was so pretty. So finished that. Gorgeous. And I used that on November 16th. So then I went to the Dior samples that I had. And I have the primer here to show you. The primer is empty. And the primer was super glowy, but it was very, very sticky. I did not like the texture of this, so I would never, I mean, I don't have Dior money, but if I did, I would not buy this. Like, it looked beautiful on the skin, but I'm such a texture person, could not do the primer. The foundation in 1N, I will post because I don't have that. Do I? That's Hourglass. That's Hourglass. Okay. I had to throw that away, like, once I used it. I did use the whole thing. I took a photo showing that I used the whole sample, so it's right there. But it was almost too dark for me in the shade 1N. And it was on the orangey side, so it was just not, that shade was not for me. I did like the coverage and the finish of the foundation. So, like, if I had Dior money and I could get a proper shade of that, like, that foundation was beautiful. But, and I also couldn't really get a full face from that sample. I ended up having to, you know, with my concealer, help it out, but it was nice. The shade 2N that I had, since 1N was almost too dark, 2N would have been too dark for me. So I did go ahead and just declutter that sample. I hope that that's okay. And I used the primer and the foundation on November 23rd. Finished that. Then we moved on to the Hourglass samples, which, so we have the shade Sienna here, which, as you can see, is empty. So, oh, not Sienna. This is the shade Sepia. Excuse me, Sepia. So it was a little dark. I used this shade as a foundation. This was my foundation shade. So it was a little dark, but it was workable. I did get a full face out of these, both of these samples. And I love this formula. When I first used, because I had a mini of the Hourglass shade in the shade Silk, which is this shade right here. This is the shade Silk. So I used this as my concealer shade. This is beautiful. It's the perfect concealer shade for me. When I first got it in the mini, I did not like the formula, but this formula has really grown on me, and I would buy a full size of this Hourglass concealer in Silk. Silk is perfect for me. This worked as a foundation. I made it work, but I wouldn't buy Sepia. And then I also had the shade Sienna, but I didn't want to try that as a cream bronzer. I'm over that with little samples like that. If I can't use them as a concealer or a foundation, I'm just going to get rid of them. So I did go ahead and just declutter that. And I used those on November 24th. And the last sample that we have to work on, because I only have one left, all of my other samples are gone, is my perfume that I told you guys I was going to work on. And I will leave my perfume ranking video down below as well, because I did rank this perfume with all of my other fragrances. And in that, I put the price of this, I put the notes of this, and all of that. But this is the Lifestyle Co. Align perfume. And I'm already down to here, because I started using this the 24th of November. And I just keep it here at my desk, and every time I come over here, I spray some. And in fact, because I haven't sprayed it on me since I got dressed, I don't like the fragrance. Like, I would never purchase this, but it's not an icky fragrance to the point where I'm like, ew, I don't want to wear it. And it's a nice light fragrance to where, like, you could layer this with anything, I feel. So absolutely, by next update, this will be a rollout, and it will be, you know, a prompt done for the project. And I think that that's really exciting. Like, unless I get any other samples while doing this project, because I feel all the rest of the items are a long haul. So if I get any other samples, I will continue to work on those. But after I get done with this, and this wasn't really a sample, but I wanted to work on this for that prompt, because it is like, it's a travel size fragrance. I think it's 10 mil. It had on the box, but I think this is a 10 mil in it because it's a travel size. So like, it's not really a mini or deluxe. This is a travel size, but I had it in my bin with all my other samples because it's not a perfume I would put over where I actually get ready, like to leave the house. So I wanted to work on it in this project. So, or not necessarily this project, but a project, keep it at my desk. So yeah, this will be a rollout, and that is oh so very super exciting. So I know everything else wasn't that great of an update, but I did no pan left behind the palette, so that's finally done, and we're almost done with all those samples. So I feel we are at least making good progress, charitable progress. Like, this project doesn't have an end date, so this will be going way until next year, which is fine. But, or at least until I've had enough. Like, who knows if I'm actually going to hit bingo on things. I might end this project early and be like, I'm done, no thank you. But as of right now, I'm enjoying working on these products. I'm totally fine with continuing this project into 2025. And that is going to do it for today's update. Any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them down below. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys!